Andrew Tate wasn't born into money, but he was born into a mindset that valued resilience and performance. Born on December 1st, 1986, in Washington, D.C., Emory Andrew Tate III grew up in a household where intelligence, discipline, and competition weren't optional. They were a way of life. His father, Emory Tate Jr., was a former U.S. Air Force sergeant and a 5-time U.S. Armed Forces chess champion, widely regarded as one of the most brilliant African-American chess players in history. Despite his genius, Emory never accumulated great wealth. Instead, he passed down to his children Andrew, Tristan, and their sister Janine an intense competitive drive and mental sharpness. Andrew's early years weren't glamorous. After his parents divorced, the family moved to Luton, England, where financial struggles were part of everyday life. Andrew has described times when the family couldn't afford to keep the heat on or buy new clothes. These experiences instilled in him a hunger for financial independence and a desire to escape poverty by any means necessary, a recurring theme in his later content. He began working early, first as a television producer for the reality show Shipwrecked, and later experimenting with various hustles to bring in money. But none of these compared to the two avenues that would transform his life: combat sports and the digital business world. Andrew Tate's first major leap toward financial independence came through kickboxing. Starting in the mid-2000s, Tate dedicated himself fully to the sport. He trained intensely, often sharing stories of grueling daily routines and extreme discipline. His hard work paid off. Tate became a 4-time world kickboxing champion, competing under the International Sport Karate Association (ISKA) and infusion organizations. While kickboxing didn't make him rich, fight purses at the time were relatively small. It gave him a platform, discipline, and international exposure. According to interviews, his earnings per fight rarely exceeded a few $1,000s. But Tate has often stated that kickboxing gave him something more valuable: the blueprint for success. Wake up early, train hard, master your craft, repeat. Parallel to his fighting career, Andrew began exploring other streams of income. One of his earliest ventures was offering one-on-one coaching and webcam services with his brother Tristan. This business, although controversial, marked Tate's first significant taste of high income. In interviews, he's admitted that this period was when he learned how to scale a digital business. They didn't start with millions. Tate has stated they had around 75 girls working for them at the peak of the operation, with Tate himself writing scripts pretending to be the girls online. While legal, the ethics of this model are hotly debated and part of what would later bring Tate into public scrutiny. However, it was the financial results that set him apart. Tate claims that this webcam business earned him hundreds of thousands per month at its peak. Whether or not the exact figures are accurate, what's undeniable is that this business marked the transition from a disciplined fighter to a budding internet mogul. By the mid-2010s, Andrew Tate had already started laying the foundations for his wealth, but he wanted scale. His kickboxing career had earned him a reputation. His webcam business had made him money, but his eyes were on something bigger: passive income, audience control, and digital leverage. That's when he turned to the world of online business and content creation. In 2018, Andrew launched Hustlers University, a subscription-based platform promising to teach young men how to build financial freedom. Originally hosted on Discord, the platform offered courses on copywriting, e-commerce, crypto trading, investing, freelancing, and more. The key difference was its marketing. Tate positioned it not just as a course, but as a movement. For $49 per month, users could access pre-recorded lessons taught by various professors, contractors, or freelancers with specific expertise. Tate himself didn't teach most of the material. His role was branding, ideology, and community building. What made Hustlers University financially explosive wasn't just the course content. It was the affiliate marketing model. Students were encouraged to post clips of Andrew Tate on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. In return, they earned commissions for each new subscriber they brought in. This viral system resulted in thousands of Tate videos flooding social media, boosting his reach and reinforcing his image as a digital tycoon. By mid-2022, Hustlers University reportedly had over 100,000 paying members, meaning Tate and his team were grossing nearly $5 million per month, not including upsells, merchandise, or private coaching. Though critics questioned the program's educational value, the financial model was undeniably successful. Tate had monetized his identity and gamified his own virality, creating a loop where his followers made him richer simply by talking about him. While Tate's digital presence exploded, he also began diversifying into real-world assets, particularly real estate. In several podcasts and interviews, Andrew and his brother Tristan have spoken about their portfolio of properties spread across Romania, Dubai, and the UK. Although the exact number remains unclear, they've hinted at owning multiple apartment buildings in Eastern Europe, including luxury homes, hotels, and Airbnb rentals. Romania, where the Tate brothers relocated around 2017, offered them a strategic advantage: lower property prices, lenient regulations, and a base to build their brand without the high cost of living found in Western Europe. This period also marked their heavy investment in luxury vehicles, including Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Rolls-Royces. These weren't just symbols of status, they were tools for content. Every car became a prop in a larger-than-life story of wealth, success, and masculinity. Tate used these visuals to reinforce his brand online, and it worked. But perhaps the most interesting piece of the puzzle was how the Tate brothers combined online marketing with real estate. They rented out penthouses, filmed in exotic locations, and used their properties as settings for motivational content, training videos, and exclusive interviews. This dual approach, digital and physical, gave Tate a level of credibility that pure influencers didn't have. He wasn't just talking about wealth. He was showing it, living it, filming it. He's also hinted at owning casinos in Romania. In various appearances, Tate claimed that he entered into a deal with an existing casino franchise to open his own branded gambling venues, earning revenue without having to build the infrastructure from scratch. These claims haven't been independently verified, but they're often cited in discussions about his diversified income streams. At this point, Andrew Tate wasn't just a content creator or athlete. He was a businessman who used controversy, charisma, and marketing strategy to build a multi-stream empire. From crypto investments to affiliate networks, from real estate to brand licensing. By 2022, Andrew Tate had evolved from niche internet figure into one of the most talked about personalities in the world. But this didn't happen by accident. Tate's explosion in popularity was the result of a carefully engineered social media strategy. At a time when most influencers were focused on growing their own pages, Tate encouraged his followers to flood the internet with content. Clips of him talking about wealth, discipline, masculinity, relationships, and personal power. Using Hustlers University's affiliate model, thousands of followers began cutting up podcast clips and interviews, posting them on TikTok and Instagram under new accounts like @TateSpeechClips or @AlphaMindset. Since the affiliate links were tied to commissions, followers were financially motivated to make Tate go viral. The result? A content flood. In a matter of weeks, Andrew Tate was everywhere. Clips of him debating women, discussing money, or showing off supercars filled people's For You pages. The content was polarizing. Some viewers loved it, others hated it. But everyone watched, and that was the goal. In fact, at one point in mid-2022, Andrew Tate was the most Googled man on Earth, surpassing even Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump. His face, voice, and phrases like "Top G" and "What color is your Bugatti" became pop culture references overnight. He used controversy as a marketing weapon, betting that platforms would amplify divisive content because it kept people engaged. The more people stitched or reacted to his videos, the more views he got, whether positive or negative. This virality brought new opportunities. interviews with high-profile podcasters, millions of new followers, and a surge in course signups. But it also brought scrutiny from platforms, media outlets, and governments. In August 2022, Andrew Tate faced the biggest digital blow of his career, a multi-platform ban. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook all banned him within days of each other, citing violations of community guidelines, particularly around hate speech and misogyny. It was a coordinated takedown, fueled by mounting public pressure and viral backlash. To many, this seemed like the end of the Andrew Tate era. But to Tate, it was proof that he had won the attention war. Instead of vanishing, he pivoted hard. He doubled down on alternative platforms, moving his message to places like Rumble, Telegram, and his private email list. Within days, he was live streaming again, with hundreds of thousands of viewers tuning in from around the world. The censorship became part of his narrative, a storyline of being too real, too raw for mainstream media. In a strange twist, the bans made him even more popular. Memes, reaction videos, and news coverage skyrocketed. Major outlets like BBC, CNN, and The Guardian ran think pieces about his influence. Teachers reported students quoting him in classrooms. He became the center of a culture war, and in turn, a brand. Behind the scenes, Hustlers University was rebranded as The Real World, a sleeker, more private version of the course. Now hosted on proprietary software rather than Discord, it promised even more security, more freedom, and more ways to make money. Tate claimed tens of thousands of new members joined during the ban, generating millions in revenue. The bans didn't destroy Tate's business. In many ways, they validated it. He marketed himself as the man they couldn't silence, and his audience rewarded him with loyalty and cash. And while the mainstream platforms shut him out, his presence in the culture was undeniable. Influencers, YouTubers, and celebrities were debating his ideas. Whether you liked him or not, Andrew Tate had become unavoidable and very, very rich. In December 2022, Andrew Tate's financial empire faced its most serious threat yet, and it didn't come from a rival or a platform ban. It came from law enforcement. On December 29, 2022, Romanian police arrested Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and two Romanian associates as part of an investigation into allegations of human trafficking, organized crime, and rape. The arrest came after months of online speculation and a viral Twitter exchange between Tate and climate activist Greta Thunberg, one that had drawn massive attention just 24 hours before. Tate's arrest was widely publicized, with footage showing him being escorted in handcuffs, surrounded by armed Romanian police and luxury cars. The Tate brothers were held in pre-trial detention, which was extended multiple times by Romanian courts, something permitted under the country's legal system for high-profile investigations. The charges were serious, and they cast a long shadow over Tate's business empire. Critics saw it as the fall of a dangerous internet personality. Supporters viewed it as a political or ideological takedown of a man who had spoken too freely. Andrew and Tristan both denied all allegations. Through their lawyers, they claimed the case was built on weak evidence and fueled by media sensationalism. They maintained that all interactions with women involved in their businesses had been consensual and legal. Still, the damage to Tate's public image was immediate. Brands distanced themselves. Mainstream podcasts avoided him. Journalists began examining every aspect of his past, from his webcam business to his online comments. And yet, something unusual happened. The financial collapse many expected never came. Tate's businesses, especially The Real World, continued to operate. His private Telegram channel, email list, and Rumble streams kept his most loyal audience engaged. In fact, some analysts believe the arrest and detention only strengthened his bond with hardcore supporters, who saw the situation as part of a larger narrative about censorship and power. Even while in custody, Tate's team posted motivational tweets and cryptic messages from his official Twitter account, keeping the brand alive. His assets including luxury cars and properties, were seized by Romanian authorities, including a Bugatti Chiron worth over $3 million. But Tate remained defiant, often saying, "They can take the cars, but they can't take the mindset." Andrew Tate's rise wasn't just about money. It was about timing, branding, and control. He started as a fighter, quite literally, from chess prodigy to world kickboxing champion. He developed a mindset based on discipline and dominance. But kickboxing didn't pay the bills, so he pivoted with his webcam business. He learned to monetize attention. With Hustlers University, he scaled digital products. With his viral social media presence, he hacked the algorithm. And with his real estate and rumored casino investments, he built long-term wealth. Even when arrested, Tate turned the moment into content. He positioned himself as someone too dangerous to be ignored, and the controversy only drew more attention. He turned clicks into cash and critics into marketing. Whether you agree with him or not, Andrew Tate understood something most people don't. In the age of the internet, attention is currency, and he mastered it. So, how did Andrew Tate really get rich? Through controversy, strategy, and the power of building an online empire. But the real question is, would it work without the chaos? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more story-driven videos, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. And remember, in the world of online fame, the loudest voice doesn't always win, but it usually gets paid.